Africa is not asking for favors. We are asking for fairness, partnership, and investment. For those of us from Africa, Africa's development is first, our foremost responsibility. We approach it with purpose and determination. Africa is ready, poised, and prepared to become the next frontier of global production and innovation.
Yes, here we are. That is Mr. William Samoei Ruto, the President of Kenya, addressing world leaders at the 4th International Conference on Financing for Development in Sevilla, Spain. President Ruto has spoken very well, addressed a powerful message, but there's something that I don't understand. Is the President William Ruto representing the continent of Africa, or is he speaking on behalf of the continent of Africa? And if it's true, why Mr. Ruto is working closely with President Macron? And all of us, we know what Macron has done and France has done to some countries in Sahel. So just imagine if President Traore, President Goita, President Chan will see this photo, President Ruto working very closely to President Macron. Do you think they will be happy? And we know that France has tried to eliminate and trying to overthrow President Traore. We have seen what France tried to do to Burkina Faso. If Captain Traore and the people of Burkina Faso will see this photo, will they feel that they are being represented well by President Ruto if he is representing the continent of Africa? We have also seen President Ruto inviting Mr. Langley. So you can understand something. So, but let us live the way things it is. But all in all, my dear lovely family, the aim is to share this powerful message delivered by the President of Kenya, President William Samoei Ruto, at the International Conference on Financing for Development in Sevilla, Spain. So let us go and listen and watch this powerful speech delivered by President William Samoei Ruto. You are welcome.
For those of us from Africa, Africa's development is first, our foremost responsibility. We approach it with purpose and determination. Yet, strong global partnerships remain essential to our collective success. Calls for greater flexibility in ODA are steps in the right direction. I am encouraged by the recognition of trade and industrialization as drivers of structural transformation. No country has achieved lasting prosperity without manufacturing and export diversification. Africa is ready, poised, and prepared to become the next frontier of global production and innovation. I also welcome the focus on debt, liquidity, and the cost of capital. There is now consensus on the need for a development-oriented sovereign debt architecture, where public debt is an instrument for development, not a trap for distress. Additionally, effective debt management and crisis prevention, including debt transparency and responsible borrowing and lending, are key, while lowering borrowing costs and expanding fiscal space is essential for sustainable development. It is imperative to have debt sustainability and credit assessments that are accurate, objective, and long-term oriented. The independent expert review on debt, nature, and climate, Kenya co-led with Colombia, France, and Germany, exemplifies meaningful partnership for inclusive and sustainable growth. The outcome document also supports the global financing safety net, emphasizing governance reform at the IMF and mechanisms to facilitate easier access to precautionary instruments, lower lending rates, and better use of SDRs. the inclusion of SDR's rechanneling, support for capital adequacy framework, and efforts to incorporate multidimensional vulnerability into financial access signals real progress. What was once radical is now becoming mainstream. We finally have a consensus, ladies and gentlemen, on reforming the international financial architecture. This outcome document now calls for strengthening global economic governance by enhancing the voice and representation of developing countries in international financial institutions. Let us be clear. Without affordable capital and open markets, progress will stall. High debt premiums cannot be fixed by technical adjustments alone. Credit rating agencies also need to change their understanding of African economies. The Africa Credit Rating Agency is a crucial step in gaining a better understanding of Africa. Africa's role is critical to the global climate agenda, but we cannot deliver if our goods, services, and carbon credits are excluded from the global markets or if entire value chains are blocked. We must design trade rules and pricing systems that reward green production and accelerate decarbonization. Africa must be part of that solution, transforming green premiums into green discounts. While I respect the document structure from domestic to global resources, let us not confuse form with priority. Public international finance remains indispensable. Africa is not asking for favors. We are asking for fairness, partnership, and investment. I urge the United States of America to reconsider its position and call on other member states with reservations on parts of this consensus to fully support the outcome document. The world's and Africa's futures are inseparable. Together, let us walk this path with honesty, urgency, and resolve. Kenya certainly will. And I thank you.
Yes, welcome back, dear lovely family, friends, fellow Africans. It's my hope that you are okay, you are doing well. That was the speech delivered by the President of Kenya, President William Ruto, when he addressed world leaders at the International Conference on Financing for Development in Sevilla, Spain. My dear lovely family, President Ruto has spoken very well that Africa, we are not seeking favor. We are here for partnership. And in order to achieve that, first of all, I think as President Ruto spoken many times about Africa, I think we need to come together to unite and to speak with one voice. And that's why I have been asking, is President William Ruto representing African continent or is representing Kenya? He's spoken very well as if he's representing Africa. But if he's representing Africa, why is working close with President Macron, who tried to maneuver things in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Niger? We have seen people lamented, people claiming that France want to overthrow Captain Traore, and you know that many Africans, young people, are in love with Captain Ibrahim Traoré. So if it's true, why President Ruto is working very closely with Macron? Yes, we need partnership, we need investment, but do we need investors who is destabilizing our fellow Africans? Do we need someone who is destabilizing your neighbors? I think you don't need such kind of people. So that's why I have been asking about representative. Maybe it's African Union. African Union is representing, but yesterday also I shared the video when Rwanda and Congo under United States of America signed peace agreement. At that summit or at that meeting, African Union were not there. So if African Union is a continental body, why the issue that is concerning about this continent, peace and security in this continent, African Union is being is being not included, of course. Why not African Union? Why America has taken that ambition and decision to ignore African Union? It's because African Union itself is weak, is being sponsored by the same people. So America can do anything. And that's why one day I said, if what happened in Middle East can happen in our mother continent, Africa, as long as we continue to be divided, in order for us to be strong, we need to come together. So, dear lovely family, friends, fellow Africans, the aim is to share this powerful message from President of Kenya, President William Samoei Ruto. He spoken very well. He articulated in a nice and good vocal, but what about implementation? That's what is the problem and the challenges. So, my dear lovely family, up to that, let me say thank you. Have a nice time. I'm very happy to be with you at this moment. If you're new in this platform, make sure that you subscribe to join the family. And if you have already subscribed, please share the message, like the video. We are here, as I said many times, to seek solutions, best solution for challenges. And we as the young people, as Africans, we are here to show the world that we can transform and we can change our mother continent, Africa. The time is now. There's no other time. Thank you.
Thank you, Africa. Mama Africa. Oh, yeah. You make African great. Thank you, Africa. Thank you, Africa.